expert. They're going to need a statistician expert. They're going to need an analytics expert. We have all that because we've been doing the work. They just need to call. I have sent every one of our Republican senators and every one of our Republican representatives an email asking them to contact me, to have a meeting with me so we can show them what we have. But they ignore us. Across the board, they don't respond. But it gets worse. In July of 2020, a Freedom of Information Act request was received by county clerks across the state. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter what county. They all got it. July of 2020. Republicans, Democrats, it doesn't matter. Everyone got it. What we found in their communications was that they collectively decided that if they turn off the ballot imaging function on their tabulators, that they would no longer have stored and saved ballot images, and therefore would not have to respond to Freedom of Information Act requests. That destruction of those ballot images is a federal crime. And we're calling on the Attorney General, Dana Nessel, to investigate that. In fact, they turned over those communications to us on Friday. They should know this. When those ballot images were destroyed, what they do, in part, is make it very difficult to conduct a statewide audit. And they did it intentionally, and we see it in their communications. They did it knowing they were deleting that information, and knowing that they wouldn't have to give you, the people, images of the ballots, so that you could audit the election. So don't think for a second that this, what happened in this election, is something simply a Democrat or a Republican issue. It is not. It is not an issue that just goes with our Secretary of State or our Attorney General. This is a far-reaching issue that runs across to every single elected official across these counties. They all did this to you. And people need to stand up in one collective voice and say, we're not going to put up with that anymore.
Who told them to turn that off?
The person who spearheaded that was the county clerk, Justin Robart, a Republican out of Ottawa County. That's the person who came up with that idea. So we call today on our elected officials to put in place an actual election system that will eliminate the potential for this fraud. They have to do it. I believe they have no choice at this point. They cannot keep ignoring us. There's too much evidence at this point, too much evidence after 6 months of testing for anyone to ignore us. Thank you for coming.